Hello everybody, welcome back to Leading Our Own Way. This is a really special one. Today I'm joined by the amazing Jordan Kilganon, and yes, he's known as the #1 professional dunker in the world. His achievements are unbelievable, his creativity is next level, and what he's done in the game is something most people can only dream about. But what I loved about his chat is that we didn't just stay on the surface talking about dunks and highlights and achievements. We went deeper, and we got into Jordan's personal journey, where that drive comes from, the role family has played in his life, the challenges that he's had to push through, and the mindset that's helped shape who he is. There's a real honesty in this conversation. I think it's probably more around passion and discipline, imagination and purpose, and what it takes to keep backing yourself. I'm so honoured for Jordan to trust me with his personal journey. So please sit back and enjoy part 1 with the incredible Jordan Kilganon. Please follow the show. It really helps us reach more people and help potentially change lives. So follow on this platform, give us a review if possible as well. Anyway, here's Jordan and myself for part 1, and part 2 will come in a few days. Welcome to Leading Our Own Way. I'm your host, Andrew White, and this is the podcast that unveils captivating narratives of resilience and personal triumph. This podcast is for anyone seeking inspiration and insights on overcoming life's challenges. Follow and subscribe, and then we can lead together forever. Before we dive in, I want to give a big, massive shout out to our now new proud sponsor, Eshu Skincare, a brand that truly aligns with Leading Our Own Way. This Australian-born company is dedicated to keeping skincare simple, effective and straightforward. They've made waves in the US, even landed in Macy's and over 300 stores, and now they're back with a renewed focus on healthy skin and real results. If you want authentic skincare that fits your lifestyle, check them out in the show notes. Thanks to Eshu Skincare for supporting real stories and mental fitness on Leading Our Own Way. And if you're interested in sponsoring like Eshu Skincare, drop us a message. We'd love to connect. Jordan, what's a question you wish people would ask you, but they never do?
So I guess this kind of means, like, what do I want to give people? I guess it's kind of the same question. Like, what advice do I want to give them?
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, also honestly, I feel like I'm in a position right now where I'm kind of mentoring like a lot of random people in my community or friends or things like this. So I feel like I am giving some of that already, a lot of these kind of questions. So it's going to be a bit different, but I'm going to give a question that I was internally begging for at one point and wasn't really getting it. And it's just, are you okay? There was at one point where life was getting really hard and really tough, and I just wish somebody asked me that, and that was it. And at that time, it would have been huge. I'm good now, by the way, so you don't need to ask me that. But yeah, it's kind of funny. I'm the kind of guy who is not really. I'm always good. My life's like fantastic, pretty much all the time. But yeah, some moments I'm like, man, if just somebody asked me if I was okay, I just want to like let it out with someone at one point, But
yeah,
now we're all good.
And I'm sure we'll dig into that during the episode. And I ask this question a lot as well. Currently, if you could put your mental health state on a scale of 0 being rock bottom and 10 being contentment, content in life, where would you sit right now then?
For me, sheesh, I'm pretty high up there. I don't know. It's hard to want to bring it down under 10, honestly. It's like my life's freaking rock solid right now. Yeah, I honestly didn't know it could be this solid and this balanced in every aspect of my life right now. So I'm in a good spot. That doesn't mean that there's no stresses, but like I have higher quality like stresses and problems. It's nice. It's good.
Yeah. When you have that perspective, you look at those little stresses as little mountains or big mountains, but you might have the skills to be able to climb that mountain and look over to the next problem in the distance and go, I'm ready for you. I'm good. I'm ready for you when I get to you,
100%.
Yeah. It's an interesting topic for sure. And it's people need to hear that side from people like yourself, right? Who are facing the world on a daily basis, and they only see it, the gleam and the glow, the amazing things that you're doing in life. They don't see that people are normal and have a normal life and still have the same stresses as everybody else. When you were begging people to say, "Are you okay?" where would you have put yourself on that mental health scale then, would you say?
I also can't go to zero just because I was in a spot where I understood that like for once in my life I had to like let myself feel things, whereas in the past I would have just pretended that it didn't exist, right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
thought I was strong for not letting myself feel things. And now I realize that like to let myself feel things is like how you get through things. You don't avoid the problem, you go through it. And so uh yeah, at the time, mental health, not zero, but let's go two because things could always be a lot worse. So
Yeah. I said this on an episode yesterday. Whenever we're at rock bottom, sometimes we do find that hammer and dig deeper into that rock, don't we? And go deeper and stuff. So that's an interesting concept. We could always get lower and lower, even when we feel we're at rock bottom, which is sad to say, but it's on, same on the other side, right? We might hit a 10 in contentment, but there'll always something else that makes us happy, whether it's relationships, whether it's our career, whatever it may be.
mhm.
I just want to start off by saying thank you for joining me on Leading Our Own Way, Jordan. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, and it's thanks for trusting me to share your journey, but also thanks for joining me on my journey, because this is, in a way, my little diary that I get to give to the world, and it stems from my journey, my mental health journey as well. So I appreciate your time. Yeah, honoured to have you here. And because I'm a basketball fan as well, it's even more fun, because we've got that in common. What we don't have in common is that I can't dunk at all, never mind like you. So I appreciate your time. I did
Of
dunk a
course,
tennis ball once, if that counts. Anyway,
that's pretty cool. That's impressive.
thanks, man. I'm only 5'10" and a half.
You say 6 feet.
Um,
This is the same thing at that point, right?
I worked on my legs for a bit, but I needed you in my life at the time.
Mm.
What do you want people to get from this episode from you? What do you want people to know about you that people don't know about you?
That's a good question. I guess I don't know, we'll see how this podcast turns out. But in general, I feel like, and this is my fault. All I do is I put out dunking. It's all dunks. If I have people come to me, it's like, "Oh man, I love you, Jordan, but this and this." I'm like, I know you know nothing about me because I don't put anything about me out there. I'm like, you like my dunks, but thank you. I appreciate that. Like, I worked really hard on them, and
Yeah.
it means the world when people say that. But maybe just to see a little bit more of myself, I guess. I'm a pretty passionate guy, and it's not just with dunking. So yeah.
Tell us about your passions then, that people don't usually see from Jordan online.
Sure. So for me, it's pretty much just life in general. Like I love philosophy. When I first found out, that was a big deal for me. Went all in, and then I went into some like non-dualist enlightenment stuff too. I went really hard into that. That was fun. Letting go your ego kind of thing. And then I love making music, electronic music. That's a huge one. And now I'm getting a lot more into the business side of things. That's becoming like more and more like a fun little game. And also my girlfriend. That is rock solid for me right now. My family is like unbelievable. My friends, I have really good and close friends I can depend on now. Like, oh, life's really good right now. So all of view life like a big buffet. I just want to enjoy it all.
That's amazing, man. I love it.
Yeah.
What about the music side of things then? What do
Mhm.
you play? What are you interested in that side of things?
So I like making very fast and aggressive electronic music. So it's like hard techno,
Yeah.
hardcore, that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's a ton of fun. I started that many years ago, but it became a bit of a problem to where one of the first times I started doing it, I woke up at 5 a.m., started making music, and then the sun went down and I forgot to eat. And I was like, oh, okay, this is not good. I was like, okay, let me fix a couple more things. And all of a sudden the sun came back up. And I was like, this is a problem. I was like, this is good, not good. So I'm obsessive, clearly, right? This is something I do with a lot of things in my life. So I do it once in a while, especially when I'm stressed out and I feel like I just need to spend some time on me. I would go to my passions, like because I can't dunk every day. Like I can't do that all the day, every day. I'll go ahead and make some music and get in the flow. And I love being in that flow state, So I'll go do that. I'm not attached to whether it's like the best anything ever or not right now, but I just do it for fun. But I will definitely go very aggressive with it after dunking.
Nice. So we might see the clips online change into the music side of
Maybe,
things.
hopefully, yeah. And my brother makes music too, so it's perfect. He like teaches me how to do stuff now, so it's great.
Yeah, nice. I've seen your brother online. I started following him. You guys are pretty close, right?
Oh, very close, yeah.
He joins you quite a lot on your journey.
100%. I mean, he was a pro dunker with me for a bit there, and now he's on his journey with this, and I can still help him out with this because it's like the same, it's all the same. Like the journey towards trying to be great at something is the same, whatever you're doing.
Yeah. You used a word obsessed. I thought that was actually quite a key word for you. I think you have to be obsessed to do even. I think it shines out. It really comes out in your videos in terms of your dunking and the detail, attention to detail. I want to go back to the philosophy in a second, but the word obsessed, you've used it a couple of times. I think when we spoke last time as well, you used it. I don't think you would be able to do what you do if you weren't obsessed for those little details. It wouldn't have helped you win the competitions you've won as well, right?
Absolutely. That's definitely a big difference I see between me and other people who say they're obsessed, let's say, with dunking, and then when I hang out, then I assume that they're going to be the same as me. And it's just no, like I'm really hooked. I'm really like addicted to this. Like when I first started dunking, people were like, "Man, you're so determined." I was like, I just doing what I like. It's like asking somebody who loves doing drugs to do drugs. Like, like I was addicted. This is like my life. Um, so
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing because it's actually I was listening to Tony Robbins recently, and he was talking about like having a push and a pull, right? So push will be like, you grit it out, it's stressful, but you're like doing it, you're forcing it to happen, which you want to have that. That's discipline. But I had the most massive pull. Like it felt like Donkey just wanted me to give it everything. Like it was so easy, right? But so later on, I had to develop push along with it. And when you have a pull in your life and a push in your life, oh, it's a nice recipe.
So what was the push then?
So I guess that's when you start getting injured is usually when it starts getting developed, right? Or if you just want to start doing other things in your life that isn't something that you necessarily love. Or yeah, for the main part, I guess, is when you're doing something that you love. And in order to progress in that thing that you love, or to keep doing that thing that you love, you have to do things that you don't like anymore, right? Which might be some of the training, which might be doing research, which might be uh, like which I'm training anyways. That or like the rehab, especially when you get injured, right? Like doing all that work, like hiring a bunch of people to try to help you out, to teach you like how to take care of your body, like doing anything possible to like get back to that pool again. So you have to develop some push to get back there again. And
Yeah.
the more that happens, the older I get, the more I get injured, and I've developed quite a strong push along with the pull now, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about the things I don't want to do on this podcast as well, but I have to get, like you say, back to the pull again, and even just
Hmm.
sitting in that flow state as well. Yeah. In terms of your injuries, have you seen a change as your body's got older? Because you've been doing it for a while now. Have you seen a change in how you have to react and respond to an injury getting older?
Definitely, it definitely gets harder, and they come like little snags, like come way more often. Although, fortunately enough, I do have a passion, like an interest in just how the body works, and like in another lifetime, I could have been like a physiotherapist or something like that.
Yeah.
I find it fascinating. So, whenever I do hire people or have some like good people around me that could take care of me, I also have them teach me everything, so I can take care of it myself, which is nice, and sometimes help other athletes with it as well.
Yeah.
But even then, it's tough because I'm not training to just like play a sport for fun. Like I'm training to like, and I'm not even training to maintain. Like I want to push my limits past where I am. I'm turning 34 soon. I'm still planning on like breaking my jumping records. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I'll say one philosophy that I've been using recently is anytime I question like, should I go up in weight? I don't. If I question it, I just don't do it. You know.
Mm.
Um, even yesterday, I was like, there was a thing that happened in my back. I'm like, I could tell if I crank this up again, because I've experienced it before. This could be really bad. I could be out for like 2 weeks. So I'm like, do I skip a workout today, like a whole workout? I'm like, I think I have to, because if I do anything with my lower back and like upper body, if I do and legs, whatever, it could really mess us up right now. I need to lay down and do nothing, and so that's what I do. Yeah, so more of those decisions.
Mate, I do that with my calves now. I'm 42, and my calves have started going on me every time. I hit a 3 the
Oh,
other week, and and I turned around, and I just started to move back to go and play D. I hit a 3. I was pretty happy with myself because I'd missed about 5 before that, and I felt the twinge in my calf, and I pulled myself off before it fully went, because otherwise I'm out for 10 weeks opposed to 4 weeks. So I took 4 weeks off, and it's just a nightmare. Calves when you get older, man. So you've got that to look forward to.
nice.
Don't want to jinx it now, do we, Jordan Kilganon live on air?
Yeah.
You said philosophy before. You've taken interest in philosophy. What part of philosophy are you interested in?
I think the first thing was when I took a philosophy class in university, and I'm in classes. I was always like the super quiet guy. I never raised my hand for anything, never did anything. And then all of a sudden, in this philosophy class, I was raising my hand at everything and arguing with the whole class. Whereas normally I would want to just be like shy, and I was like, oh, like haven't you guys been thinking about this like your whole life all the time? Like, oh, so I guess what I've been doing in my head is just been called philosophy, like just like questioning life, like what is life, like what is death, all this kind of stuff. And so yeah, that was super fun. That was the first time, like again, me standing up in front of the class, like arguing and just roasting everyone, but just because I was already doing philosophy in my head. I just didn't know what the word was for it.
Yeah.
And I even asked my teacher. I was like, "Is there like a job you could do with this?" She's like, "Just a teacher, pretty much." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's unfortunate." But then
Nothing
I
wrong
got
with teachers,
into
Jordan.
yeah, I know, but I didn't want to be a teacher. That's all.
No,
I didn't
me
want to be.
neither
I didn't
now.
want to be a philosophy teacher. Like that's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like super fun to do for me. I'm sure it is for some people. But
What type of questions would you ask at the time? Can you remember?
Oh, I can't remember. It was yeah, no, I can't really quite remember. But I just know that after that, I kind of got into Socrates, which is kind of like the father of modern philosophy. I listened to a bunch of like, I don't know, I think like 40 hours of courses on that. Like the first thing I got into, then Stoicism and all that kind of stuff, and that was super fun. That was super
Yeah.
interesting. But yeah, I've just discussing life and like pondering on life, and I love it. It's interesting.
Is that why you listen to Tony Robbins now?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I've avoided Tony Robbins for a bit. Not avoided, but like I don't know. I never really pay attention to his stuff too much. I was like, yeah, like honestly, I was like, yeah, that seems a little bit corny for me. But then I actually looked at his recent thing and went through like the whole whatever, and I was like, man, this guy's kind of exactly where I want to go in life after this. So that doesn't mean I'm going to do like public speaking like he is or doing the seminars and stuff like that, but just the general direction, I guess you could say he's kind of like the personal development, like final boss, right? He's a great example for the world and a great example for me. And he's also, it's quite fantastic how wealthy he is now. And he's worth like over $10 billion now. And I'm like, that's
10 billion?
yeah. I'm like, that's unbelievable. And before I used to have the mentality, it was like, oh, I didn't like money. I thought like I was a good person for not caring about money. And then when I unlearned that about how money's an amplifier, like you can do more good things if you have more money. And as soon as I unlearned that, I was like, oh, okay, now it's game over. Now I like actually more into business. Now it's more fun. And hoping I get to a place where I can use it to make a difference in the world someday. So
Yeah, and I want to dig into that definitely. Because you said to me when we spoke last time, and we've spoken quite a lot over the months, haven't we? And on the phone and online, and you really want to dig deep into that personal side of your journey. Where do you want to take it? Actually, before we go there, let's retract a little bit. I always start off by asking the guest how they lead their own way, hence the title, Leading Our Own Way. Tell us, for those who don't know who you are, and I'm going to have a lot of basketball people listen to this, and I'm sure people on your end will too. Tell us all how you consider to be leading your own way currently in your life, in the present moment.
think I've always done a good job of following what I want to do in life. Um, I've always been terrified of not seeing my potential and like some things that I want to do. Like with dunking, I always wonder like if I stop or if I don't go all in, like I don't want to look back and be like, how good could I have been? You know, like what if I tried really hard? What would have happened? Like that is a devastating thought to me. And so I'm really grateful to young Jordan for believing himself and, taking a lot of sacrifices and risks in order to go all in with this dunking thing and to give me the life that I have now. And I'm a passionate dude, I'm an obsessive dude, and I want to be able to use that. And I've known I've wanted to use that since a young age to be able to use it to make a difference in the world. And this is always what I've wanted kind of my whole life. And the fact that I followed that and I've given that to myself, and I keep giving it to myself. And I'm pretty relentless about it. And I love that. I love that about myself. I love that about my life. And yeah, I guess that's how I'm leading my own way.
Yeah, I love it. Tell the. I have a lot of children in my life in terms of who I meet on a daily basis because I still in the education space, and I've told a few that I'm interviewing you. They don't believe me, but they will now. Tell them. I know we're not going to spend. This podcast is definitely more about your personal journey, but let's just tell the people where you've reached, so then we can go dig deep into where this energy really came from. Because I want people to see how and why you got to where you got to. But before we get into it, tell us where you're at in terms of dunking and when that journey started. Because I think you've been recognised as the number one dunker for quite some time now, haven't you? Tell us a bit about your dunking journey, where you're at, and so on, so people know exactly who Jordan is.
Yeah. So, as you guys have heard so far, I was obsessed with dunking for a long time. Got to the point where I became a professional dunker. That alone was a thing that everybody in my circle said was impossible. And I took it to a point where now I am undefeated for 7.5 years in dunk contests against all the best dunkers in the world. And I've created nearly 300 dunks, never done before. And I was fortunate enough to do some dunks at NBA All-Star Weekend, which blew up in front of all the NBA guys. My signature scorpion dunk. Did a fun video with Gary Payton with the NBA, which is still the NBA's most viewed video on any platform. On Facebook, it's got like 110 million, I think now. I don't know. Yeah, I dunk. I got pretty good at dunking.
When I watch you answer that, you say it so casually, but you got to repeat those numbers to yourself. I mean, that is absolutely insane, isn't it? Like, did you ever imagine it would get to that point?
No, no, not really. Like after a certain point, like as it was starting to blow up, then sure, like 'cause it kept like blowing up like pretty dramatically. But
Yeah.
before that, no, my goal was only to was like my dream was much smaller. Like my mentality was to just give it my 100%. Like anything that wasn't helping it, I got rid of it in my entire life. So everything was just like one lane. I didn't do many things. I did one thing and went all in. And all I was hoping for was that I could have a normal job, like 9 to 5, so that I can put money into my passion and maybe fly myself out to dunk contests to hopefully just show what I can do. And I would have been happy with that. Just like every once in a while, I'll just save up money so I can fly myself to dunk contests. And now I get paid to do it all over the world, which is mental. But
Amazing.
mhm.
Amazing. I'll call it right now. If you ever come into Australia, I'm the guy getting you from the plane and I'm looking after you here, by the way, and taking you to the games.
You got it. Thanks.
Love it. Love it. And so, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? That mindset, your dream. And this is really where I want people to understand. Be the crazy one. Be the fool in the room. Because if somebody looks at you like you're crazy, boom, you've thought of something that no one's thought of before. So you could be that guy, and you're pretty much evidence of that, aren't you? Even you in your own limiting beliefs, you never saw it to the scale it is now. What you saw was, I'm going to get a good job, and it's going to fund everything, and I can do it. You never imagined. It was like that box is sitting around the dream, and you never imagined it would be the bit that's going to actually pay you to do whatever you want. So, what was that turning point for you to go, actually, 9-5, don't need to do that? Where was that in your life? and how did you get over that line to go, I'm actually going to do this full time?
Yeah. So
just taking a very quick break to thank our sponsor, SU Skincare. If you haven't heard of them, SU Skincare started right here in Australia, using Australian ingredients to make skincare straightforward and accessible, especially for men who want results without the fuss. Their journey took them all the way to the US, where they were featured in Macy's and over 300 stores. Now they're back with a fresh approach, focusing on healthy skin and authenticity for everyone. I'm proud to have SU Skincare as a sponsor on Leading Our Own Way. See the show notes for their website and to see how you can keep your skin healthy and confident. And if you're interested in sponsoring like SU Skincare, drop us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Now, right back to the episode.
it was at a certain point where I was in school. It's kind of funny. So I did 3.5 years of university. I wanted to be a basketball shoe designer is what I wanted to do. I was in school for product design.
Yeah.
And at this point, there was like one semester I skipped because I got flown out by Hoop Mixtape to LA. And then when I was flown out there, at this point, I felt like I was good enough to be a pro dunker, but like nobody was giving me a shot yet. And then I started dunking in front of like my heroes basically, and I was out dunking them every time. I was going crazy at that point. Like my first session I did there, I did a 720. It's still my best one I've ever done when I got there. And I kind of got shown like, oh, I'm just as good, if not better than these guys. Like I can actually do this for a living. You know, like some of the guys who were like authorities in the world were already calling me the best dunker in the world. So it wasn't like I took a leap of faith when I was, you know, light years away, like years away from like doing. I was already there. So
Yeah, well.
because of that, I dropped out of school. I'll tell a funny story. Is my parents, my mom and my stepdad, they wanted me to stay in school and just finish the half year. It was just a half year, right? Like, you just go ahead and be a pro dunker and do everything your heart desires. You know, just get the degree and that's it. And I'm like, that's completely fair. That's a very loving thing to do. And if I didn't finish it though, they were going to, you know, as an encouragement for me to finish my degree, if I would have finished, it would have given me a triplex. They would give me like an apartment building I could have just had and owned myself. They would give me a new car. They would have paid off my schooling, a place to stay. They would have paid off my food just for half a year. That's it. And I was like, nope. Which is crazy. So people still look at me like I'm an idiot for just like that choice. But my reasoning was I already knew I could do it because I was already like at the highest level. And I knew that Jordan, me right now, would be grateful for it because that is one extra half year of training that I were able to do, because that program was so time consuming that my training would have taken a huge hit and I would have had to start from like a lower point. So still a funny story, but just show you how much I wanted it. I wanted it really bad, you know. I was willing to do that, and like the alternative was I was sleeping on the couch after that and couldn't afford to get myself a haircut, so I'm cutting my own hair. You know what I mean? But yeah, but their intention was purely, obviously, their advice was right for pretty much everybody, but like one person. So
Yeah.
we're
So
all
how
good
did
now.
they?
Just want to say that we're all good now. They love what I do. They're happy I am where I am.
Yeah, everyone. When we spoke, when we did a video call in February, he was with his mum in Florida, so it's all good. He's good friends with his mum again. Did you? So what happened there when you said no? How did they react?
I thought they were too happy. But I mean, it's not just that. They were concerned. You know, they were just concerned. They have so many like people in their circle that they try to make those kinds of leaps and like failed horribly. And it's like it was just like half a year away. Like they didn't want me to not be a pro dunker. They just wanted me to like finish it and then go ahead and finish the program, which is completely reasonable. And I'm sure like it hurt them really bad to see me do that when again all of their experience is like that's pretty much impossible to do. You know what I mean? Sorry, I shouldn't say that's not true. They didn't think it was possible to do. It's that they felt like I should have got my degree at the time. They don't think that anymore, right? They even talk about it now. There's like, Jordan, there was no stopping you. There's absolutely no stopping you. But yeah.
The evidence is there around the world with everything you're doing for sure. Yeah, I mean, you've killed it for me, by the way, because if I ever say that type of advice to my kids, they'll be like, yeah, but Jordan did it and you interviewed him and you praised him for it. So thanks for that, Jordan.
Just don't let them watch this one.
Let's go back to younger Jordan then. I always touch on the childhood with people, because it paints a picture of really where it stemmed from. You know, and I interview everybody from, you know, illness, chronic diseases, cancer, and toxic relationships, abuse, everything you can probably imagine in terms of mental health. But I love to see where the thirst came from as a child. I mean, I've looked online, and Jordan, the name itself, I think started before you were born. Were you named Jordan for an obvious reason?
Yes, yeah. My dad's a big basketball fan,
Yeah.
and basketball player, and he's a personal trainer. But yeah, he named me after Michael Jordan, which was now that I know about how habit building works and how if you just change your environment, like just one guy who was so big on like how much the environment can change who you are is with his kids. He's never played chess like that. Like he's never played it competitively or anything like that. And then, but for his kids, all he did was put like grandmasters on the walls like, everywhere, like chess piece, little statues here and there. And when he raised them, he couldn't stop them from playing chess like at night with a flashlight. You know, they were just like addicted and became the youngest ever grandmasters. You know, so just the environment can shape you like crazy. And now that I look back, I'm like, wow, being named after Michael Jordan was a crazy environment. You know, like that's with me all the time. All I was thinking about was like, how can I be like Mike? You know, and do cool dunks, which I did on Fisher Price nets growing up. So yeah, that was a huge one.
Wow. So tell us a little bit about young Jordan then. What was
Mm.
school like for you? What was high school like for you? What was family life like for you? And where did, and then lead into, you know, where did the first element of dunking start to take place? When did you really see the root of, you thought, oh, okay, I could do this?
Mm. So I always dunked like a lot and like mini hoops. Like there's a video of me at 1 years old dunking on a hoop. You know, obviously can't jump yet, but it's just like a little like dunking backwards, which is cool. And again, my dad's personal trainer. My dad's a big basketball fan and it was an athlete too. And yeah, I had a great upbringing. I had a fantastic upbringing. Childhood is full of good memories, full of sports, many, many sports. My dad and my mom and my parents, like you should have seen like their schedules that they had, which just like all day was just packed. Like they made sure we were in everything all the time. And looking back, I'm like, definitely took for granted like how much they went crazy, like making sure that we got and to do everything that we had to do. You know,
Yeah.
like that was a lot. We were usually playing each of us like two sports at a time after school, like one sport, and then like hours later, like a couple hours of another sport, for another team or whatever. And yeah, I grew up playing every sport and tried to be as good as I can at each of them. But then after high school, that was kind of like what do I pick now? Like I don't know like what sport to pick. I remember my last basketball game was devastating. I started crying. I was like, what now? You know? And for some reason, I decided to do the one thing I love the most. I was like, let's just see what happens if I quit everything and I just do the thing I love the most, which is dunking. Even though at that time I could just do like two hand dunks. Um, and I started dunking 3 4 hours a day, every single day, sometimes 9 hours in a day, whether it was like 10 feet or 8 feet. You know, I just love dunking. I should say though, at around 15, I think that's when I saw uh, some dunkers like T Dub, Air up there, like the OGs will know these guys' names, and that's kind of when I was like, oh, you don't have to just like play basketball to dunk; you could just dunk. And that was a big like on like mental unlock is when I saw that there was pro dunkers, that was even a thing. That's kind of when I started going in that direction, and yeah, rest is history.
Why stop playing basketball then?
I don't know why I look back at that. I made so many like good decisions, and I can't believe it because like when I talk to other people when they struggle with like trying to go in a certain direction, they they don't do the same things that I did. You know, like I don't know why I had the natural inclination that like if I want to get good at something, I have to quit everything else.
Mm.
You know, because I do believe I did the right thing in terms of like you dabble in many things. If you want to find it to be like, I don't know my passion. It's like usually those people have the most passions. They like like so many different things. But you dabble and see what's the thing that you like the most after you like get decent at all of them. Find your one thing and then go all in. And I guess the reason why I did that actually was that I understood that if I do a lot of cardio and do a lot of running, that's actually bad for jumping, right? it's a counterproductive. So I'm like, if I want to jump as high as I can, I can't be playing all these sports, and I also don't want to get injured,
Yeah.
right? So the only thing I want to get injured if I'm doing is dunking. So even now, I haven't played basketball in like probably 10 years or something like that,
Yeah.
or any other sport for that matter, because I'm too scared to get hurt because it'll mess up my one thing that I want to do.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Did
glad I
you
did that.
were you a good basketball player though?
For my city, sure, but like not great, not great.
Could you have gone
Um,
to college with it or?
yeah, probably would have been a good bench warmer, but yeah.
That's good.
But
That's
I'm
funny.
sure I like with my attitude, I would have like got to a point where it's decent, but it was nowhere near the passion it was for dunking. Like dunking, I love basketball, but dunking was like a whole other
Mm.
level. 'Cause there's all the creativity. I love creating things. I love inventing things. That's where I belong. Is a spot where I'm thinking of new stuff and being creative. And dunking has that, and basketball does, but not to the same degree.
Yeah. And you said you've got like nearly 300 different types of dunks. When you
hmm
started to be creative and that mindset of that creative mindset started to come into play, where did you go? Mm. Did you have a number in place? Did you ever imagine that you could make that many dunks up? Or was it just one dunk at a time? I've got a new idea. Where was that mind mapping started to begin and how did it? Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine creating 300 dunks.
That's a good question. No, I never had a number in mind at all. Like I only started counting it like a while ago. Like I have a great editor who has all my dunks organized. So all we
Mm.
do is we put it in like a private Instagram and we just add them all in. And then whatever numbers at the top, how many posts there is, that's how many new dunks there are, right?
Yeah.
How many dunks that was the first to create. Although sometimes we see a dunk that's been done before me when I find like a new video that I've never seen and that was like a couple years before me, then sure, we'll take it off. But
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, no, I just like inventing new dunks, and I guess it just built up over time. I don't know.
What's your favorite?
Hmm, that's a really hard question. There's too many really good ones. Like the 360 Lost Found was huge for me. I like that a lot. Um, I did a recent one called the DNA dunk. It's really neat, I guess I like to call it. Is like it's just really interesting. A lot of interesting stuff going on. Even like pro dunkers look at it and they're like, I don't even know what's happening. I'm like, it's that like interesting, right? It's like that weird.
What were you doing?
Um,
What were you doing to make it? What was the interesting parts of it?
So I go up in the air with the ball, and then I cross my arms like this, and then I pull the ball backwards while doing this with my hand, so it like flicks it upwards. So you have to like push this way, and then it like flicks ball back, and then I dunk it like this and finish it reverse behind me. Like it just looks so ridiculous. It looks so cool. Um,
What's
a
your
reverse
own
five.
reactions when you watch it back, though?
Yeah, sometimes I get excited, right? I get super pumped. Like those ones I'm super pumped about. Reverse 540 Scorpion was really cool too.
Yeah,
360 Roundhouse is cool. I don't know, there's a lot. I like a lot of them.
there's a lot. Everyone who's watching, please go and click on his videos and just check him out and follow him on Instagram and Facebook. It's absolutely insane. For anyone who is listening on that in their question, just wanting to dunk in a game and make a cool dunk, where should they start in terms of training to go to be able to potentially dunk soon?
Oh, that's so it's always a weird thing, you know. There's an entire science to it if you want to get like super crazy about it, but the fundamentals, as you heard what my journey was a lot of jumping. If you want to
Yeah,
get good at something, jump a lot. Like people, intuitively understand, hey, if I want to get good at shooting, I better shoot a lot. Same with jumping. It's the same thing.
logical. Yeah,
As long as they're like full effort jumps, you're not just doing like 50% jumps all the time. Like some people think you got to jump in place and jump like a lot. It's like, okay, well, that's what you're training for now. You're training to do low effort jumps like like for high endurance. Like that's not really what you want. So do 100% effort jump, take a break for like a minute, do 100% effort jump, do like 20 of those or 30 of those twice a week. And also another good way to do it is to make it fun. Do what I did, dunk on low rims, dunk on 8 feet. I was just doing that today. And it's the funnest thing ever. Like, you pretend like you're Michael Jordan or you're Jason Richardson or Vince Carter or whatever, and it's the funnest thing. And
yeah,
outside of that, if you want to take it up a notch, get in the weight room, start learning how to squat, how to lunge, those kind of exercises, and get your legs strong. Get
yeah,
strong in the weight room, jump often. That'll take you pretty far.
yeah.
I guess I always forget to do this, but I guess I should be saying too, I do have a jump program at jumpmaster.com.
Please
If
do
people
it.
want
Yeah,
to check
yeah.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the website again?
Jumpmaster.com.
I'll put it in the show notes so they can click it on and get involved with the jump program. That's why I said I needed you when I was young, because when me and all my mates, I remember we used to go to this small court at the basketball centre in Manchester, where I'm from, and we put the camera down below, and the ring would be like 8-9 foot, and we'd come in flying, dunking. It looked like we're dunking on 10 foot. But so that imagery, it made us feel like we were really doing it, right? So, and even in my back garden, I used to pretend I was in a stadium and I was Mike, or I was playing against Mike or something like that, and I'd do the fadeaway, the tongue out, so it became automatic. You know, you start to practice, and I keep saying to my son, just go and imagine. Imagination is the first point before you do everything else. Then shoot a lot, like you said. Do layups a lot. Practice your jumping. You're never going to be good at jumping if you don't practice. And we say it to my basketball team, just shoot. I don't care if you miss. It'll all be muscle memory. You'll all figure it out, and you'll learn. And it'll change. As you get stronger, you'll have to adjust. As soon as you start lifting weights, you're going to have to adjust. The further you go out, you're going to have to adjust. But because of the modern game, my son's practicing his threes, but his foot's sticking out. So he's got like a little duck foot. And I'm like, you got to get it in. You're messing yourself up. Start closer to the ring, and let's work our way back. Let's get those fundamentals right, and everything else will flow, you know? It's crazy. But I'm really interested with you and your drive. I remember you telling me about your mum and your dad. They were teachers as well, weren't they?
Yeah, my mom and stepdad were both teachers, yeah.
Yeah, and they had a huge drive. I remember you saying, what did they do to kind of instill drive into you then? Do you think, looking back?
Oh yeah, I'm so fortunate. I have 3 parents that are absolute monsters. You know, there's my dad, who's a personal trainer and who's a great athlete, and then that's where I get like my obsessiveness, like for sports. And then there's my mom and my stepdad. They're both teachers, but they got into real estate and absolutely crushed it. And it's so interesting when I hear people talk about who do real estate. It's like, oh, but you know, it takes so long to do this. Got to talk to the city. It's going to take years. And I say the same thing, but bring that up to like, wouldn't it take years though? This person said that, and they're like, no, like we don't mess around. Like we make it happen. Like we don't wait that long. Like that the people of the city, we are a nightmare for them because you know we get it done. And even when I was a kid, whenever I had to go get a job during the summer, like, hey, go give out some resumes. And I just gave out like 3 or whatever, and I came back, said, okay, I applied some places. They're like, no, you're not coming back till you do 50. I was like, oh, okay. That's like, oh, that's okay. That's what they mean. And so that kind of theme was consistent throughout my whole life. Like there was no, I don't know, they just gave it everything they had all the time. There was no like not making it happen. There was no excuses. There was no victim mentality. They were just absolute monsters, and that was normal to me. You know, that was just normal. I wasn't like that as a kid, obviously. Like you had to build that, but like when that's I can't imagine having parents that aren't like that, you know?
You know, it's funny you bring that up because you don't see parenting like that anymore, do you? I try. When I'm at the basketball center, I'm loud. Like, I'm real loud. But that's because I'm passionate and I want these kids to have energy and soul. But everyone looks at that loudness as, I don't know, it's aggressive. I'm not aggressive. I don't use aggressive words, but I'm like trying to like get these kids to jump and run. But it's okay for them to trail and walk on. Like, no, pick it up, get moving. If you don't want to be on the court, get off and we'll do it at training or we'll home life. I keep saying to my son, Nat, you're not on your devices. You're getting off your devices. You're out. You're jumping. You're running. And it's not that I'm making him do sprints. I don't mean it like that. But get outside and just try and install those human skills into them. So then when they do go and do whatever they want to do, whether it is basketball, whether it is, I don't know, being the best gardener they can be, I don't know, whatever it is you decided to do in your life, be the best at it. But it has to come from somewhere, and I do think it's, like you say, it's all those environmental factors, isn't it? What they can see and what they can hear on a daily basis, because it's wiring the brain to think that way. If you're a negative person, you're only going to attract negativity into your life. But if you're a positive person, you're only going to see the positive. Now, it's not to say the others don't exist, because they certainly do. But if you wire your brain to go in one direction, you will head in that direction. Whether it's short or you've like your mum and dad, you've got to make some things happen, and that's the same for you. You've clearly made things happen, and it backfired on them a little bit with the university college thing, didn't it? But there we go.
I mean, they're happy about it too now. I don't want to frame that as in like, you know, they hated that and this whatever, but
no, it worked out for sure.
That was the best case scenario for everybody. But I will say, as somebody who used to be a kid who was not like that at all, right? I didn't have that developed at all. It still makes an impact, you doing that. Even though I'm sure sometimes it would, if I'm putting myself in my parents' shoes, I'm sure they looked at it sometimes like, oh, I can't even make a difference in my kid. Like, why aren't they being like this? And it's like, it does make a difference. It does.
It
It's
does.
just maybe not as dramatic right away, but that's
Yeah.
with them forever.
And that's a good point. I'm experiencing that now as a young dad. My son at 9, who you've met a few times, and his drive is pretty good. But I might expect when you hit one point, you've got to rave that bar to the next level, don't you, to keep that drive going? And I'm the same as you. Sometimes I'm thinking, am I being detrimental? Am I pushing him too hard? But I think one day he'll look back and he'll see the beauty that you see now, right?
Of course, yeah.
Your dad was a personal trainer. He did a lot of work with pro athletes as well, didn't he? So you were around the physical side of things quite a lot too, right?
Oh yeah, a lot. So he's a personal trainer. He even still currently trains the OHL team, the Sudbury Wolves, where I'm from, and he's trained a lot of NHL players, Jonathan Chichu and many others who are like at the highest level in the NHL and stuff like that. MMA fighters, basketball players, all sorts of sports, and yeah, I got to be around those guys and be around my dad all the time. So
yeah, nice. And outside of basketball, you dabbled into, and there are clips of this where you're jumping insanely high to get the ball over the net. But you played a bit of volleyball too, didn't you, growing up?
yeah, volleyball is probably my favorite sport outside of if we're not talking about dunking or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was probably it was more so my best sport. I think I was better at volleyball than anything else. In another lifetime, I could have also probably been a volleyball player. And I can't wait to play again after I'm done dunking, because I'm not letting myself do it. But yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Going back to childhood in school, how was school for you in terms of academics? You're such a sporty kid. You're doing all those sports every night. Were you one of those kids at school itching to get out of the classroom and to go and do your sport at night? Or were you the opposite? Were you just, you were, and because I remember you telling me you were quite a quiet kid growing up, which,
Yeah. So, yeah, I was, I don't know, I guess diagnosed ADD or whatever. But, so yeah, I was pretty distracted in class, and I don't know, just not all there, like I would all of a sudden blink and 30 minutes went by. I'm like, oh, shoot, what did I miss? It was the whole class.
So you were
Yeah, so
diagnosed with ADD at the time?
yeah, with ADD at the time.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I did okay in some classes, and in some other classes, like not as great. Like I was more of like a numbers kind of guy, so I loved like math and that kind of thing. But then some of the subjects not the best, but still, school was like pretty decent for me academically. Could have been stronger. Like I said, math is strong, but then just my life with my friends, I got very lucky with the school I picked. It was the kind of grade that I was in where like the entire grade was like pretty tight and very like we're all nice to each other. There was no like mean girls and this or whatever. It wasn't like that at all, which is like super lucky because I would have done so bad in that. Because my elementary school started to get a little bit like that. But yeah, I have some great friends. So great memories. Yeah.
What was the impact of being diagnosed with ADD? Because how old were you? Would you have been grade 4? Was that 9 years old?
Trying to think. Yeah, I don't remember. I think it's around there, but yeah, I don't remember exactly. Uh, but yeah, the weird thing was just like, getting put on like medication, like what I was on was like Concerta, stuff like that, and
Mm.
it just makes me more into like a robot. And I got more socially like paranoid and socially just like not as skilled. Even now, like if you were talking to me just now, like I'm a lot more normal right now than I used to be, even like I don't know, let's say 8 years ago, because I stopped taking it probably about like 7 years ago, and I had to like relearn how I don't know how to like get things done, how to build habits, how to do all this stuff, because I was so dependent on it to like get any kind of work done, and without it, I was like screwed. And so I actually had to like work really hard to try to figure out like, okay, how's my brain even learn? How's my brain get anything done? So then I got into habit building and all that kind of stuff, and that helped a lot. And socially, I had to work on that too, with like just doing small things like learning to talk to the cashiers and like trying to say hi, and then eventually it became more natural, and yeah, and we're in a better spot now. But yeah.
So, I mean, you know, there's obviously a lot of people out there that do use medication, and everyone has a different journey with it completely. And I sympathise and I'm very aware of it. But for you personally, in your personal experience, what was there an impact? Now because you said you've come off it 7 years ago, was there an impact of the medication? Do you see an impact now? Or did you even realise it during the time of it as well? Well, that brings us to the end of part 1 with the incredible Jordan Kilganon. What I really loved about this first part was hearing not just about the dunks or the success people see from the outside, but the heart behind it all. You know, the passion and the imagination, the family support and the drive that's been there from such a young age. You can already feel that Jordan's journey is about so much more than sport. It's about backing yourself and staying true to what you love and putting in the work even when the road isn't easy. So in part 2, we're going to go even deeper. We talk about some of the real life challenges Jordan has faced growing up, including living with ADD and how that impacts him socially, the role of medication and how it played in his life, and how he slowly found his own way through it. It's honest, it's powerful and full of insight. So make sure you come back for Jordan and myself for part 2. Enjoy, and until then, keep leading your own way. Oh, and press follow as well, please. See you then. Join us tomorrow to hear more from today's incredible guests and learn valuable insights to help you lead your own way. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you then.